I'm back over here in the pantry area, and we've got to get the flooring back in here. I can't leave it like this with the crawl space just exposed with the dirt. Eventually we'll go back in, we'll put insulation up underneath the flooring so that there's more than just underlayment between us and the elements under the crawl space. Today I'm adding blocking to these floor joists so that I get a little bit more strength out of them, but also I'm going to be using plywood as underlayment, and unlike the wood flooring that I pulled out, it doesn't run in long strips. I may have like a board that ends right here in the middle of these joists, and I need to have something I can tie those to. We picked these footings up at the Habitat for Humanity. Oh, it's probably been a month ago. It was before we even closed on the house because we knew we were gonna have to get in here and do some structural stuff. So I'm just placing this one down in here. And then the bathroom wall is gonna run right under here. I've got support for it here on this end and support here on this end, but I didn't want to do the full span with a wall being there, so I'm putting this little footing down here too, and we'll support up with that. I got excited and I put the blocking in before I ran my floor joist, so gotta cut this one out of here. I'm just gonna draw out my support coming up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut out a notch in this 2x6. Oh man, I love living in 2019 with all these modern tools. Could you imagine doing all this with a handsaw and regular old hammer? I mean, it can be done. They did it, but I sure don't want to do it now. So a couple things had to be done before we can put the underlayment down, but we're there and things are nice and supported and tied in and strong again, so we can put the plywood down. All right, it's right down in. I'm going to attempt to build this wall in place. I'm going to leave the stud off of the end of the wall so that I can raise it and not have to cut out this windowsill because it will want to scrape against the wall, and then I'll put that one in. And then over here, it slopes up on the ceiling or the floor. I don't know which one. Maybe they're both sloping, but I've measured from the floor up with these stacked so that I have the distance for my bottom plate and top plate on the wall, and it's not load bearing. So if you remember, I put that joist running along underneath here, and then I put the plywood over. The reason I wanted the plywood over is because I want it to be a continual run between the joists so they have as much strength as possible, and I'm not worried about weight. This isn't a load-bearing wall. It's just to separate the bathroom from the pantry, so it'll be okay on top of the plywood here. So on the floor here, I've got a line marked right where that stud runs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna line it up on my mark on the floor and then nail this in. Nailing that right into that joist down below. It's time to get started on the wood flooring that we're going to keep. I've got a lot of patching to do here where the plumbing came up for the bathroom and the walls were for the bathroom. So all of this plumbing is gonna go. It's not connected to anything currently. It's just sitting here hanging out. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And then these don't line up. There's a weird transition between the dining room and the kitchen and the bathroom. None of the boards line up. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of run them straight. I'm gonna start all the way back over in the living room area and then work my way this way and see how far I go and see how straight I can get it, because it's all kind of mismatched and not correct in here. So we'll see how well I do. Paint is going to be our friend. It's a good thing we're painting these, because were we not painting them, I don't think this would be savable without some major transition. So this right here, you can see the rust in there. This is why I'm not bothering with this old plumbing. We're just gonna run new PEX plumbing through here. It's just really corroded and rusty down in there. So we're just gonna get rid of all of it and start over.
All right, so I am back from Arizona, which means I'm here to help Zeb man the children, make sure everybody's get fed, and
they all got fed. Mostly.
Mostly, nobody starved. But today we're gonna be working on the floor. So Zeb is gonna be ripping up what was in the old tiny hallway and hall closet, I guess.
Yeah, it was a closet.
And we're gonna feather it in. You are probably gonna be like, that's not a super great job. We're not expecting perfection here. This floor is pretty much almost unsavable. Most people would just completely refloor it. It's not in the budget, so we're gonna make it look as good as we can and then paint it, and maybe when we can afford it, then we'll come in and put new flooring in.
Or maybe not, because it'll probably end up looking chippy and awesome.
I think it's gonna look good. And I actually, perfect is never my like end goal. I like a little imperfection in character.
I had a little bit of a high spot right here. So what I'm doing, I just got 80 grit on the belt sander and I'm zipping it down just right there. It's just a little bit of portion right through here that's making it a little higher. The floor is either lower over here than it was down on that end, or this got higher as I went up. I missed my measurements. So I'm just gonna sand it flush and then we'll lay the boards over the top. I had a board right there, just like I've got one here over here in this mess. And I think I might have gotten lucky. I'm gonna fit this in on this side and I think it'll carry all the way over and fit right into this side, so that all I have to do is just fit them into the tongue and groove right here on the existing kitchen floor, and then right over here on this side and just slide them in. So normally when you're doing a floor like this, they make a special nailer that you can hammer everything tight with, but this floor, we can't help it. I'm not gonna go buy the special tool or rent it, because it'll be what it is.
It's extra.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right.
Have them in.
That's what you want?
Get that.
There, I got it. Do you need two? I feel like this one needs two.
Trying to get her gauge and nail gun on.
There.
Right here.
Side.
But do it on this side because I gotta cut this in half.
Are you telling me I'm holding it like a block? Is that what it's called? Block?
The other side, like over here.
Other side.
Because I gotta cut this in half so that I can keep the board.
You smell so good right now.
You smell so good.
I don't stink. Do I stink? Your cut looks good.
Nothing a little epoxy or Bondo can't fix.
I think this house is going to be held together with Bondo.
It'll be stronger than it's ever been.
Oh, if you saw the way the rest of this flooring was done, you would be like, oh, we're just trying to make it look the way that it already looks. If we did it all nice, then we'd have to redo the whole thing because it wouldn't look right.
Sure, we'll say that.
I feel like we're bringing a knife to a gun show with that Harbor Freight nailer. This Milwaukee nailer is so much better. It's like, why are we using that $20 gun? I bought you this for, I don't know. What did we buy that for? Do you remember?
We blamed like a lot of tools for about 6 months on Father's Day.
I think this one was because I wanted you to make signs for me.
Oh.
And you said if you had it, you'd be able to make way more signs faster, but I don't know that you've delivered on that.
No, we got it because I was doing stuff down in the bathroom.
What bathroom?
Or the laundry room.
Oh, okay. Nope, we already had it before that. We bought it for signs. And you have used it.
Alright, run it in.
Let me know when I'm there.
That's tight.
All right. They found some junk. Early American Old Spice.
She found a bottle in the crawl space. She's more excited about that than the floor going back together.
I love junk.
All right, now that we know that this section's gonna work, I've gotta come back over here and go full length across before we get over to that section. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to tie the tongue and groove in. We'll have to cut the tongues off of all of it. He's the best nail puller ever.
I wouldn't go that far because I'm not super great with a hammer, but I'm prepping boards. I just have to have them ready by the time he's ready to cut and staple them in.
I've got a chalk line marked on this. My boards over here, as I work my way across, somewhere there was a little filler. I can't find it, but they're over about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm gonna rip this down. Preferably, you probably wanna do this on a table saw, but mine is not here, so I'm gonna use a circular saw. Should be good enough to fit in here. I'm gonna be real careful to go nice and straight. Stand on it, like right there. Not full pressure, just a little bit of weight.
It's like I'm leaning back having a vacation. What I'm doing is I'm pushing these boards over so we can fit this board in.
Yeah. It's a tight fit and they're wanting to run with the rest of the floor.
That's why you always want to patch with a partner. So we're sitting in our lovely $4.95 Walmart camp chairs on top of our new old flooring.
This is where the bathroom used to be, and it was literally pieced in together, all small little pieces, and then...
I thought you were gonna say pea. Beast pea. It probably was all peed. Okay.
Well, it was pieced in together here, and everywhere there was a wall, there was a 4-inch gap in the flooring because they had cut it to get down to the floor joist. So now we've got continuous flooring because this is where the kitchen will be, and right behind me there will be a door eventually. Who knows when that's gonna happen.
I know saving the flooring might seem weird to some people, especially since we can't even like stain it because it's just not in stainable condition. But I feel like we took out so much from this house because there wasn't much character left that I feel like it really honors the home to leave these original wood floors in and reuse them as much as possible. It's taking a lot more time than if we were to just rip it out and lay new floors.
Oh, yeah.
You know, each board has to be pulled out, have all the staples removed, then put back in, and then they all have to be sanded, even out, and then finally we can paint them. But I feel like in the end it'll be worth it, especially to know that these are the same wood floors that were in here, you know, maybe even 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, these are original flooring because right underneath here is crawl space, so there was nothing else here.
If you guys have enjoyed watching along with us, be sure to visit JamiRayVintage.com and tell your friends. That's how we support our channel and make more videos. Hit that notifications bell and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Hit the subscribe button.